my name is Andrea Skyberg, and this is my book, Squircle. Hi, welcome to the Arts at Large Gallery, and the exhibition that's here is Threads That Connect, Fiber Art and Community, which is an art exhibition that showcases my book, Squircle. And the reason it's called Fiber Art and Community is because I worked with 5 Wisconsin schools to create the book. If you want to come through, you'll see that this big red thread is going to lead us into the gallery, and we're going to see a little bit more of the artwork that was created with the students. They started off by learning how to sew. They learned about 5 different stitches, and then after they learned those stitches, they got to practice them on one of the banners. So students would get a chance to show me their interpretation of what they thought the squirrel would look like, or they thought the duck would look like. And then they would draw a picture, and then they would replicate that with fabric and applique it. So applique is stitching 2 pieces of fabric together, and that connects them. And so that's kind of one of the layers of interconnectedness within the book. Squircle follows a little girl named Evie, and the girl is named after my daughter, who is also called Evie. And she follows this squirrel, and she's trying to catch this squirrel, and it leads her on this really amazing journey through the woods. And along her journey, she meets these woodland animals who kind of give her guidance, showing her how to live in the moment, go with the flow of life, and listen to her inner voice. And each of these animals in her journey also give her a new word, and these words kind of inspire her to do these things like duck flap, or live in right now a pillar time, or fish flow. So at the end of her journey, Evie sees that she didn't need to catch the squirrel to be connected to it, that they're all part of the squircle. We're standing in front of the duck flap mural, which was worked on with students from St. John the Evangelist School. And students designed their own original design based on Native American designs, and then they hand-stitched one of the feathers in the duck's headdress, or the feathers in the duck's body. So duck flap is actually a word that I invented that means clearing anger through action. So in the book, the duck flaps its wings to get rid of its anger, and Evie mimics that to get rid of her frustrations. We're standing in front of the caterpillar mural, which I worked on with 95th Street School, and the students for that school, they embroidered the triangles around the caterpillar's face. And the caterpillar's message is right now a pillar time. That's her word. And it means living in the present moment. So she teaches Evie to not worry about the past or the future, but enjoy the right now, the present moment. We're standing in front of Dearly Listen, which is a mural I worked on with Waukesha Community Art Project. And the middle school students at Waukesha Community Art Project, they worked on the amulets, the necklaces on the deer, and they used applique and embroidery to make those. The deer represents the word dearly listen, which is a message for Evie to listen to her inner voice. This is the fish flow mural, and I worked on this with Cooper School. And the students at Cooper School, they sewed the scales on the fish. And each student, we actually looked at Celtic designs when we were doing these, and they designed their original design and then replicated it in thread. And fish flow means going with the flow of life. So not resisting what happens and just trying to go with the direction that life is taking you. This is the Squircle mural, which is the final page spread in the book. And I worked with Fairview School on this, and the students embroidered these mandalas that are kind of patches on the squirrel's shirt. And the squirrel mural represents the word squircle, which is a lesson for us to remember that we're all connected, that all things are connected. And Evie learns this lesson through the red thread that she carries through her whole journey, which forms this big red circle and connects her to all of the woodland friends she met along the way.
What became your interest in fibers as a material?
I actually got my undergrad and graduate degree in fiber art. Most of my work was costumes, but I had all this material sitting downstairs, and I thought, I had to use this sometime. But also, I thought that using fiber would be a really good way to emphasize the idea of interconnectedness, because with two pieces of fabric and stitching, you connect them. And so there was a little bit of a layer of interconnectedness with the materials. And also the stitching kind of was also represented throughout the book and the story with the red thread, so I thought stitching would be a good way to showcase that.
Always looking to be a kind of community artist.
No, I really wasn't. It was never kind of what I set out to do, but that's probably the best part, is that it found me, and that after I worked on Snicky Fritz, I wanted to work with students because I thought that the more hands in a project or in the book would make it more powerful and more meaningful, and it did, and it was so much fun. And so I'm going to continue doing that, collaborating with students or different people to make the books.
So where do you see yourself going with your next project?
My next project is actually a book called Shimmerling, and it's about this character who's not really a bird, not really a tree, but kind of a mixture of both, but has to find out what it is and has to come up with its own definition. And so the Shimmerling actually has these beautiful silver feathers on its kind of branches, and I'm going to work with students to have them engrave in metal some different designs and patterns that they come up with on their own, and then those will be put on this big costume, kind of like a sculpture costume that somebody wears, and then the person that's wearing it can move, and we're going to take photographs of it, so it's animated in the book. And then the other parts of the book will come in with the background scenes. I'm going to do that on my own, kind of like how I pulled their pieces together and into the big murals. So I'm really excited to do that.
Yeah, very cool. So you're going a totally different medium this time.
Yeah, another medium, right?
Yeah, very cool. I'm excited to see how that goes.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time.